of a sudden I see Chris. So he comes over a little, wanna like from the side. My husband's name is Chris too. He said,
Friend of yours, and she runs her mouth and tells her friend.
Oh, bring on the shade, girl.
you want to chat with me, Chris? One-on-one?
This ain't your show.
No, ma'am.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. Today, we'll be looking at the Real Housewives of Potomac. And even though this was a slow episode, I feel like we learned a lot within this episode. And yeah, we realized that Ashley and Deborah is on a mission to try to take down Candace. And I feel like something that Ashley said during this episode revealed everything that I needed to know, and I'm gonna get to it. Thank you all for liking, comment, and subscribing to the channel. I'm in the middle of moving, so I'm gonna try to keep the videos coming at a decent time, after the episode airs. And yeah, hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, won it, securing the bag.
Oh yeah, so Karen and Ray meet Matt at the venue space, and they do a walkthrough, and it's at DC Improv. And I feel like, Karen and Matt, they talk about the whole run through of the show, and it's gonna be a variety show, and this, that, and the third. And I feel like this is more of Matt's idea than Karen's.
Was it Matt's idea to do the show, or was it more yours?
Oh, it was mine. But let's be very clear. Matt produces the show for me.
She's like, yeah, he's my producer, but I am the star of all this. And I'm just like, okay, Karen, you said a lot in the last two episodes about, this Giselle and Robin show was boring and I'm gonna do this better. So I really held this up to such high regard because I'm just like, ma'am, it better be better because you had a lot to say. So they all sit down, and it gets to the whole situation of Grindr, and they talk about how Michael, he popped up on the grid on Grindr. If you know. And it was just funny because Ray was like, yeah, wasn't Michael on Grindr? She was like, yeah, I brought it up. Jacqueline goes to Mia's house, and they're with G, and all this stuff. They're over here drinking their wine, trying to have a good time. But like I've been saying from I think a couple episodes, their whole interaction seems kind of weird.
Gordon, are you scared?
What's weird to me is Jacqueline being between the two of us.
Huh?
Is that okay?
Do you want to be in the middle, Gordon?
It's awkward. Like when they're on the couch, G's like, should I sit in the middle? Should you sit in the middle? Like, what should we do? Should we get closer? I'm just like, it should not be this deep. Like, sit down and talk. Like, I feel like either they're making this whole situation bigger than what it is, or it's becoming more contrived. But it's not that serious. Me and Jacqueline talk about how Giselle was grilling her at the whole Reason Me Shady live podcast show.
We know that she likes to watch and Gordon likes other women. Right. So you never said, pick me?
And then she was just like, yeah, I pay for my own stuff and I pay for this. Just because G might have helped me pay for my Porsche, get the down payment, doesn't mean I can't afford it because my credit still ran through it. Everything was good. Okay, girl, you should have just said that. Like, y'all made this whole big ordeal when they said, did they buy your car? You could have easily said, no, they didn't buy my car. They helped me put a down payment down. It was just a good gesture that they wanted to do as my friend. Okay, cool. Because by you over here saying, well, you need to talk to Mia about that, or ask Mia, it makes it seem like, or it's alluding to that there's more information and there's a deeper situation going on. So that's why I was just like, girl, you could have easily just said that. But Jacqueline, girl. So they're talking about the whole bathing with each other, and I'm not bathing with my friends. I'm not getting in the shower with my friends. They're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we take showers together. We grew up together. This, that, and the third. Okay, that's cool. That's great. I grew up with my sisters. I'm not showering with my sisters. It's weird, but if that's their friendship, that's their friendship. I can respect that. That is their friendship, but I cannot. No. I'm not doing that with my friends. If we go like on vacation, no, I take a shower by myself. So Ashley goes out with her friends, and all her friends are pretty cute. They call them PYT. And they meet Giselle out. Giselle gives very much auntie vibes.
These are my babes. Listen, we done done some shots. We talking tonight, okay?
And Giselle asked Deb, like, okay, what do you think about Chris? Like, how was that? And then Deborah is telling this story. She's like, yeah, you know, Chris was all up on me. He moved his shoulder and he was asking, yeah, you know, about my husband's name is Chris and this, that, and the third.
You know, you can see someone from the side and then go, like looking like
And
that.
he's smiling at you in your
Yes,
face?
yes, the eyes.
My whole thing, I didn't know she was married. I think she did say it, but I paid no mind. But for her to say she's married now, like, why do you care if another man was flirting with you if you married? Like, I just feel like it's weird. Like, okay, you married, so why do you care if another man's looking at you? I know a lot of girls that are married and they just like, you know, okay, he's flirting with me, okay. And it's such a big deal, Deborah. Why? And obviously, a production played her. First of all, Deborah is over here doing her big one. She's just like, yeah, you know, he was over here doing all this, leaning forward. And production simultaneously showing that Chris was paying her dust.
So for like a good 2 minutes, I'm just.
So it just goes to show that you're lying for Ashley for what? And Ashley's in the confessional talking about, you know, one thing about my girls would never lie. My girls don't lie.
My friends are not liars.
Ashley.
You lying? Yeah.
They did though. They did. So my whole thing is production. I don't see them giving Chris a good edit. I don't see that, or trying to save his image for anything. Like they didn't do it for Michael Darby. They didn't do it for anybody else. So for them to actually show this, I feel like if they had footage, they would have showed it if Chris was doing something inappropriate. And then for them to bring up Eddie and call him, oh Happy Eddie. Happy Eddie came over.
Happy Eddie comes over.
Who's Happy Eddie?
He comes over all smiling like, hey, what y'all talking about?
Just because someone is nice doesn't mean that they're flirty. And I get it. You know, you kikiing with your girls, you hyping the situation up. You know, I get how sometimes you can go off on a tangent, go off on a little bit of fairy tale, and, you know, tell fables. We get it. Like, you know, sometimes you just boost up the story because it's good. Got it. But at the expense of someone else's marriage, it's weird. And I'm not blaming nobody else but Ashley, because Ashley brought them on the show. So that's just what it is. Ashley's like, you know what? I don't want Candace to end up like me. You know, end up in a marriage with her husband's cheating on her and she's just looking crazy.
Where she could potentially end up like me down the road. Have a husband that cheats on you after you have your baby. You know, like, just be aware of what's happening.
There it is. That is what it is. Ashley is mad that Candace, every single time Michael did something, Candace was the one to point it out and throw it in her face. Ashley, you're mad that your husband did that to you and you're trying to project your feelings and insecurities from what your husband did to you onto Candace. Now, is Candace's marriage perfect? No marriage is perfect. But at the end of the day, don't just try to throw out Hail Marys just to see if somebody gonna catch it. That's just not how it works. Michael did a lot of people. Michael did a lot of people. But it's like, you can't be mad that Michael actually, you're accusing Chris of something that he didn't do when Michael actually did what he actually did. So yeah, when Candace come for you at the reunion, girl, it's free reign. She can say what she got to say. And like I said, Ashley's pissing me off because, like, you know that your husband did the stuff and now you're trying to find stuff that Chris is doing. You're bringing people on the show and you're bringing people in this environment to see if Chris is going to do something. Because I feel like Deborah was brought to that party and her friends were brought to that party to see if somebody's going to flirt with them and make a storyline out of it. And that's what happens. Ashley was being strategic. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like Ashley knows how to play the game. Ashley is very strategic and she could have got away with this, but she didn't because of Deborah. We then head over to Wendy's house and, you know, she's with her family, everything's looking cute. And then, you know, she brings a lunch that she had with Ashley and, you know, back at the table with Giselle and them, they were like, yeah, you know, should we bring this up to Wendy? Ashley was like, yeah, you know, I feel kind of compelled that I should. So she brings up to Wendy. She was just like, yeah, you know, the girls saying that Eddie was being very friendly and flirtatious and they called him Happy Eddie.
That Eddie was like being flirtatious. So they were calling him Happy Eddie.
Not Happy Eddie.
And I'm happy that they didn't really take it that deep. They just laughed it off because it really is laughable because you're saying that he was smiley, like he was just in a good mood. It's reaching for straws at this point. So we then segue over to Mia and she meets Giselle and, you know, Robin's always gonna show up last. And, you know, one thing about Robin's outfit, like with the shorts and the shirt, Robin is gonna always come in and look common. Just very common, very plain. And I like that about Robin because it's consistent. That's so shady. It's consistently common. Like Robin is just a roundaway girl, and I feel like that's why I a little bit gravitate to Robin. She redeemed herself a little bit in this episode, but we're gonna talk about it. Giselle brings up the dinner that she had with Ashley, Robin, Karen, and she's just like, yeah, you know, Karen's telling us like all your business, girl.
And Gordon. And Mia says, but I did sleep with Peter's current girlfriend. Hold on, wait.
Giselle brings up the Peter girlfriend situation. I feel like this whole scene, one thing Mia does is she always ups the ante.
Well, she never slept with Gordon. She just played with him. That was actually on our wedding night at the bachelor party that I crashed, saying while I was walking down the aisle.
For us, like, you know, she was at the bachelor party. I'm just like, it's always something more to the story that makes it jaw-dropping or like a awe moment. I'm just like, she always ups the ante. It's always something else to the story with Mia, and it just seems surreal because just like now she's not cool with the girl. She was in your wedding. She did foreplay on G. It just seems so unrealistic, but I mean that's what she said. And Mia gets mad. She's like, yeah, you know, Karen's running her mouth to y'all, and it's just irritating because why wouldn't she just come straight to me? Come to the horse's mouth and ask me first.
I don't know, but I ain't telling Karen else. One thing, she wouldn't be nice if I tell you guys why she really don't like Sharice.
But, and I get what she's saying. I'm like, you know, Mia makes sense. Karen has been, you know, carrying bones a lot. I mean, that's what Karen does. But Mia, you have to realize, why are you going to get mad at Karen for something you said on camera? It was going to get out regardless. Regardless of whatever happened, you said it on camera. It's going to get out. So to be honest, you can't really get mad. And I feel like Karen said this before. If it's on camera, I feel like it's free range. If it's off camera, I'm going to keep it off camera. But if it's on camera, then I'm going to bring it on camera. So you can't get mad at that. It's show day and Giselle walks up, and Giselle actually looks nice. Who knew? And you know, Ashley, she brings Deborah and as her +1, and it's giving setup. It's giving ambush, and I'm just like, cue the eye roll, right? And Candace is me, because if I don't know what event I'm going to, I don't know if they have food, I don't know if they have drinks, I don't know what happened. I'm going to eat before I go to an establishment if I don't know what's going on. If they're like, yeah, we're going to the event and it's at blah, 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 blah. Me, I'm going to Google first, but I'm not going to do that much research. I'm like, let me just go ahead and get something to eat first before I go to this, because I'm not about to be over here hungry, because that's going to just make me irritable. So they go back to the party because Candace is about to leave with her mom. And they bring up the whole situation when they were in Miami.
Sharice put this video in the group to get my attention because I don't with Sharice.
Sharice dropped a picture of Karen and Mia having nip slips when they were at the club, and I guess Karen got upset about it. She's just saying that Sharice is very thirsty and she wanted to get Karen's attention. Sharice did not get invited. I don't think she was mad about it. I mean, I don't know if she was that delusional to think that she was going to get an invite. Maybe she did. I don't know. But, you know, then we see Ashley brings up the conversation between Karen to Mia and Jacqueline about the flashlight in the vagina. Jacqueline screams out, yeah, that's when I had a yeast infection. I'm just like, for you to have a big ass, probably 80 pound, 50 pound maybe, camera in your face in all directions talking about, oh yes, when I had a yeast infection, girl. That's embarrassing. I would take that to my grave. Even Mia was like, oh girl, I was going to keep it secret, girl. I wasn't going to say that. It's just weird.
It's getting weird.
Mind you, every woman gets a yeast infection, or like it's common. It's nothing crazy, but the circumstances makes it ill. It's like, so you got this girl looking in your vagina. Okay. So Mia is mad that all the girls know about this by way of Karen, and like I said before, it's like, girl, to be honest, like, I get that you're mad, but you said it on camera. Karen has a packed house, and I'm just like, okay, Karen, she did her big one, but to be honest, the venue is smaller than Robin and Giselle's venue. So I mean, to comparison, it probably was the same amount of people in there, but it is what it is. As the optics, it looks bigger. It looks like a packed, more fuller house. Robin finally shows up late. So when she gets there, she sits down and she's like, hey, Candace.
Do you know that that's Ashley's friend that was spreading? That's a friend that was touching on? Yeah.
She is the one that's spreading the rumors, and I just want to let you know because I'm with you. And I'm just like, okay, 10 points for Robin, because when Candace sat down and walked in with her mom, everybody's like, hey, say hey, hello, hi, and all that stuff. Nobody said anything. I mean, I wouldn't expect Ashley to bring anything up right then. I wouldn't expect Giselle to give her a heads up or anything. But I'm just like, and I wouldn't even expect Mia to give her a heads up. But I'm just like, I'm happy that Robin, you said you're her friend, you redeemed it a little bit, so I give her a little bit of grace on that one. 10 points for Robin. Ashley paid, Candace paid the dust, and she's like, you know, next, I don't have time to be staying on Sesame Street.
I do not acknowledge Sesame Street characters.
The Sesame Street situation was funny if she would have said it one time. Kiki, right? She said it over and over and over, and I was like, girl, we got the joke. She should have just said like characters off of it, and then that would be a little bit funnier. But you know, Karen finally shows up, and this is how I wrote it. It starts with a comedy. There's a comedy bit. A lady comes out, she does comedy. Then Karen comes out, she does a wardrobe change, and she's looking fabulous. Then they start talking about pride, and they bring out Jasmine Masters from RuPaul's Drag Race season 7, and the one that said "and I oop," right. So after they bring out Jasmine Masters, they do like a Q&A portion. But like I said, at this point, Karen's show is not better or worse than Giselle and Robin's. I feel like it's evenly the same. Nobody did better, nobody did worse. I feel like both would have been kind of draining, long. And, you know, they do like the Q&A portion, like I said. And Mia, one thing I have to give Mia is she do have balls. I will give her that she does have the courage, and she just says it how she has to say it.
You do when you share something with a friend of yours, and she runs her mouth and tells her friend.
Ooh. And then I'm just like, thank you, Mia, for starting some drama, because it was kind of getting boring. So I'm like, thank you, Mia. Karen's like, girl, whatever. I said what I said. She was gagged at first. Yeah, Karen was gagged. Yeah, and she was like, I said what I said is what it is, just live with it, you know.
Whatever I said about you was the truth, Mia. Get over it. It's all right.
Transparency is key.
All right.
And then Mia said, like, if I tell you something, then don't run it and tell these two, talking to Giselle and Robin. I'm just like, so at some point, you just got to give the girl, just give her hands, because I'm just like, it was just, I feel like I'd rather someone be forthright and just say it to your face, and then, especially in public, and then just run around and just be pussyfooting. So I'm just, I like I said, I give Mia, I give it to Mia. Then, you know, the editors are shady because they show at the end of Karen's show how long she been on stage. The show was 75 minutes, but Karen been on stage for a total of 29 minutes. I said, child, I would have been sick. And this supposed to be Karen's show. People probably paid to see Karen, but you know. Then Ashley's talking about so this is the end of the show, right? Why was Ashley talking about some damn
Candace, oh my god, did I introduce you to Deborah?
Sorry, Candace, you know Deborah, Deborah, you met at the spring party.
And I'm just like, girl, stop playing this stupid game. We already, like, come on now. Like, you know you didn't introduce her to Deborah. You know the situation. Just go ahead and pop it off. Like, don't sit up here and just try to assume, like, you know you didn't. And then Candace like, oh, so this is the girl that was talking about Chris was touching her.
Oh, you said friend? Yeah, you said my friend that Chris was grabbing on her? Is this the one? He wasn't grabbing on me. I never said that. And heavy.
So Deborah started talking. Deborah started reenacting, and she was like, yeah, you know, Chris was just being very flirtatious, and then he just leaned over. You know, her hair is actually pretty. She's like, she just leaned over and just put her arm up, and I'm just like, you know, Candace is just looking like, yeah, like she's having side banter with Mia, because Mia's like, oh, so that's the girl. Ah, got it. And then Mia, yeah. The fact that not only did Candace call her Sesame Street, but Mia go in her confessional, she said, you know, when I look at Candace and Wendy, I give them an 8.5.
And Candace, right, on a scale, I would put them at like 8+.
On the scale, 8.5. when I look at Deborah, like I like Deborah. She's a cute girl.
Deborah, I like her, but she's like maybe a 4.5. I mean, she's cute, but she's not like cute.
Like a 4. She's like, Deborah's like a 4. I'm like, at that point, I would just be good just not to be back on TV. That would be so embarrassing. Like that, like not only did you get a whammy from old girl, you got a double whammy from Mia. 50 points to Mia. Okay. And like I said, at some point I have to give respect to Mia because she just called a spade a spade. That's just what it is. And then you got Deborah over here online doing her whole Sesame Street bit, and I'm just like,
my natural eyebrow. Okay. Oh, thank you, Elmo. So sweet. Hello, Miss Deb. I got a cookie for you. You too.
It's getting weird. Like, at some point, girl, you're just gonna have to just eat it and take the L and just take it very gracefully, because it's just getting embarrassing. I would like I feel like if I was Deborah, I would have came out and just be like, look, this was the unedited version. This is what really happened, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we already know she lied. So that's just what it was. So everyone gets up and they start to leave. And, you know, Jazz Master's doing her singing and dance. And that was in the show. Why did Ashley go up to Candace and was like, well, you know, I know you have a problem with my friend, but I don't want you to just leave and when there's stuff that's, you know, going on.
Candace, I know that you have like some weird feeling about my friend.
No.
And Candace like, girl, I'm over it. Like, not right now. And my whole thing is for Ashley to then try to gaslight her. It was just like, oh wait, why are you being so dismissive? Like how you did with Jacqueline.
Why are you trying to dismiss my friend? Like is this what you did to Jacqueline? Can you just clear the air? She's not gonna have bad intentions with you.
It's not her being dismissive. One, for me, her mother is there. So you're trying to have a whole interaction and maybe an altercation when her mother is right over there. That would have been, for me, the straw that broke the camel's back. Because I'm not about to have discord with someone and my mother is present. Because if you go off on me and let's say fisticuffs start happening, my mom is jumping in too, okay? So it's just like, I'm not gonna ever put myself in a situation or put my mother in a situation where she has to see me in this type of element or, you know, discord. So Candace is just like, girl, I don't got time. Deborah's like, do you want to talk to me one-on-one? What? Candace was like, no ma'am.
Do you want to chat with me first one-on-one?
No, ma'am.
You know what? This is too much.
And that was the end of the show. And you know, I just feel like I'm happy that Candace didn't give this girl no type of grace. And she just left it at that, because you're trying to cause problems in her marriage and Candace already know what's going on. Like, call a spade a spade. We already know what the situation is. Ain't nobody dumb, and you just trying to you trying to plot out the stuff, and it's just easy to see. And it's just like Ashley was like, when Deborah was talking about it, she was like, I never said that. It wasn't me.
No, I never said that.
Girl, we know you are the ringleader. So regardless of the fact, like you said, these are my friends, i.e. your friends. You brought them on the show. You knew what you were trying to do. You're trying to get back at Candace for God knows what reason. Candace gave plenty of olive branches to Ashley, and hopefully Candace see that Ashley's not to be trusted. And the only saving grace I can give Ashley is the fact that, I mean, Ashley knows how to play the game. And Ashley should have went on the girls trip. She should have. Not Giselle. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with how Candace handled Zabora? Are you on Mia's side or Karen's side? I mean, you know, Karen's a fan favorite, but I mean, you have to call a spade a spade. Like, Karen be running her mouth. That's just how I feel. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy New Year. Peace.